Bay, Maru, TY, Classic, Bunny. Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, Live, 2023, GSL Season 2.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time to eliminate the very first player for Season 2. It's going to come down to one of these two Terran legends, TY or Bunny.
Yeah, TY versus Bunny should be an interesting one. TY, first Code S qualified in quite a long time after military service. He's been looking good online in the qualifiers, mostly against Protoss players and against Zerg players, but as of yet in TVT, still kind of difficult to see where he stands, especially since his first set of the day was against Maru, of all people, right? And Maru, it's hard for anyone to look good against him, so should be interesting to see how this one pans out. I mean, Bunny, he got top 4 in the last GSL as well. Let's keep that in mind.
I mean, Bunny is godlike. It's actually so funny because GSL's been around for so long. We've seen so many players play so well, and like all these guys are so good. I think Bunny is definitely the favorite, but TY knows how to prep for a best of 3. I think TY could beat anybody in a best of 3. I think he prepped very well for Maru. Unshockingly, Maru did overpower him. I don't think that's a good measurement of where TY is. So I'm going to be looking at this from TY's perspective. I want to see what he's got planned, what ideas he's going to be working with, and how exactly Bunny's going to respond. Neo Humanity will be our map for Map 1 as we get into this best of 3 to decide who's knocked out first in Season 2 of the GSL.
GSL Season 2. Guangdong Freaks, TY. Mystery Gaming, Bunny.
TY is brave, man. He is a brave gamer. First GSL Code S back. Just lost to Maru, now up against Bunny, top 4 of the previous Code S. Let's go Command Center first.
CC first, go. I like it.
From Ansan.
Ansan. Nicely. Love you, TY. Straight to the point.
A lot of TY fans in the audience.
Well, I mean, TY is, first of all, I mean, if you're a fan of good gameplay, obviously you're a fan of TY. Fan of StarCraft 2, fan of TY. But I think the Korean fans especially love him. He's such an articulate person. If you could ever get a chance to sit down and talk to him, I know for a lot of these players, you can never hear them speak English or anything like that, but he's a really smart guy to talk to. And they were really looking at him early on here in the tournament, in the whole. I'm sorry, I'm totally distracted because there's a bunker being made right here. I'll park that thought. There are no Marines inbound, by the way.
Yeah, Reaper in production, but very far away, and no more SCVs being pulled. So this is just Bunny trying to buy a little bit of idle time here from TY. He's trying to force him to pull SCVs because
he wants him to overreact to this, basically.
Yeah. I mean, already this has pretty much paid for itself. I mean, Bunny, he's already sent out the scout, right? And
there is a Reaper coming.
Yeah, but the Marine popping out should shoo away the SCV.
Well, not if it goes to the wrong spot.
True. It was actually a little bit dangerous now. I thought for sure he was going to go down to the bunker and try and kill it.
He's really good with his control, too, here. The SCV's still alive.
Wow.
Oh, my God, it doesn't finish.
I can't believe it got that close even, but, man.
That was the bad luck of where the SCV goes when it's building the structure.
It's kind of crazy. I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, this is smart by Bunny. You're building this bunker. Your opponent has to pull 2 SCVs. They're losing mining time. The 25 minerals that you lose by canceling it is going to be...
Oh, man, he's lost another.
Almost lost a Marine, one Reaper to get taken down. But, in terms of just the maths of it, that was a good trade for Bunny.
Well, keep in mind, I mean, this is a second command center that was rushed out, and it's not being used right now. Just to what I was saying earlier, I mean, the staff at GSL, they were really excited to try to push him into doing commentary because the guy's so smart and has such a, he's very eloquent and obviously very good at the game. So it's not shocking to see a huge fan base out here for that. Sorry, I just wanted to finish that thought before we got further along into this thing.
It's worth talking about. TY is one of those gamers that just is so good at putting his mind to words. And when you can play at the level that he does, I mean, we're talking about a GSL champion, right? Just having them in the booth is such a boon to the Korean StarCraft 2 community that it's a no-brainer. There's so many fans here cheering him on in his first GSL Code S back in years.
Well, things are going to quiet down, at least for now. But there's going to be another push. I'm sorry, I stand completely corrected. This just seems to be the way so many Terrans want to play this now, is to get that medevac with whatever you could put in it out and try to do some damage. And look, TY is going for a third command center right away here. And it's not in an exactly safe spot when you consider a siege tank is coming here.
Siege tank is going to get dropped down. Hellions are here to intercept it. That SCV at least is going to get killed. The Banshee, luckily, is the tech of choice here for TY, so he is able to shoo all this away. And I think it was Maru, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, maybe it goes back further than that, but certainly in my mind, when I think of one medevac drop coming across the map and causing damage like this super early in the TVT, I think of Maru.
Yeah. That's funny. You got to trade out that Marine, make sure that tank can fit in there. He's still rallying units down.
I think he wants to try and find a way to kill at least another SCV, right? And now with the Cyclone here to shoo away the Banshee, you actually can siege up here, but maybe a little bit too fast. A little bit too early with a siege up there on that tank, and the last shot from the Banshee is able to take it out, and all the wind is out of the sails here of this push.
I mean, that just kind of ends the whole rush, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the idea is that you have the tank that's going to shell that command center, and the command center becomes, instead of this really great investment, it becomes a real threat. Like, if you don't let it finish, you're going to economically be in peril later on. But the fact that they both got traded out, both the tank and the Banshee, means that things equalize quite nicely here for TY.
Yeah, that trade definitely going in his favor. Bunny a little bit ambitious with that siege up on the low ground, but he also was going third CC behind this, actually keeping up pace with TY after delaying it with that first drop. So not too behind economically is Bunny. His SCV production a little bit later because he didn't go CC first, but in terms of just raw command centers, and wow, TY already going for the double gas here on the low ground. That's kind of crazy. He really wants to pump out of these two factories, but this isn't mech, I don't think. He has 2 engineering bases, if I'm not mistaken.
Scan over here. Bunny's going to get his third base up comfortably. He still seems to be confident that he can come out on the map and make quite a bit happen, and I think rightfully so. TY decides to start to congest the center of the map to make Bunny have to do a little bit more legwork to get anywhere that he wants to be. We're going to have a full-on engage. You know, Artosis always had this joke about this. When you see two guys meeting in the middle of the map, it's like, okay, one of you's wrong. Like,
right.
You're not supposed to both just like have it out in the middle of the map like this. Like, that can't be right. Somebody's got to have an advantage here, especially with different build orders.
I knew exactly where you're going with that too. It often does feel that way, but here for Bunny, he just wants to leverage pressure, and for TY, he wants to not let that pressure reach his third base. He wants to try and create a little bit of a buffer. And Armory now coming in for TY. I might have been completely wrong about those 2 engineering bays. Maybe I read the production tabs wrong. TY might be going mech again in TVT. Yeah, double Armory. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, okay, so this is kind of his, what he's cooked up for the matchup right now, and how he wants to try to handle it in long games. Now, I don't know if Bunny's playstyle is going to let him have that kind of razor-sharp ability to cut through the tech right in the middle of it, but we'll see.
Oh no, TY massively out of position here, losing 1 siege tank here out at the natural.
Oh,
auto turrets coming down, and a disable. We'll get 2, maybe even 3 siege tanks as suddenly this natural expansion and third base are sectioned off from each other. Now TY does have air superiority with a higher Viking count, but a lot of damage already done. He really needs to clean this up. Luckily able to get both of those siege tanks out of vision from Bunny, pulling some SCVs just to soften the blow here.
Oh my god, the command center's going to narrowly survive. I love watching Vikings chase each other by jumping and then landing and then picking back up.
Yeah, TY was eventually able to clean that up and reset the tank counts, but that was a scary moment there for quite some time. I thought Bunny, if he had reinforcements coming in, could really cause some problems there for TY, but...
Well, you know, he's relentless. I mean, he's just continuing to try to probe around and see if he can't find yet another opening here. It is worth pointing out they're both still expanding at about the same rate, so very different games, but growth seems to be almost identical.
And if we think back to the Achilles heel of TY when he tried to play mech against Maru, it was the relentless drops that Maru came in because there weren't turrets in position, there weren't Vikings out. For the longest time to shoo those away and kind of control the airspace around TY's base, but this game it seems like he's learned from it. 11 Vikings on the field. These siege tanks should be able to zone out Bunny from getting any extra damage in on this 4th command center, but comparing this game to where TY was at against Maru in that earlier series, I'm liking TY's position here a lot more.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know that he's going to be able to cut through the same way that Maru did, to what you were talking about earlier, State. But I do think he's doing a pretty good job of keeping the pressure on. But really what we're going to see here is probably TY on the defending side for like 4 to 5 more minutes while he continues to develop. I thought that maybe Bunny was going to find an opportunity to shut this command center down, but he did not get that.
Yeah, and Bunny actually going for a very fast battlecruiser switch as opposed to what we saw from Maru, which was waiting for TY to max out on effectively the wrong composition. Now this scan does miss it. I actually don't know where the fusion core is exactly.
Yeah, where is that?
Oh, it's here in the
over
natural
there.
expansion.
Okay.
And oh, it's Liberator range coming out first. So maybe no BCs. If Bunny is able to get air control, then suddenly with Liberator range, he might start to threaten these exterior bases here for TY. You know, the 4th base that he has right now, around the 3 o'clock position, potentially a 5th base later at the 6 o'clock position, could be under threat.
1-1 for vehicles is going to finish up here for TY as he's going to continue to develop. I think you scan that. I don't think he's going to see the Liberators come out.
No, and also he saw the extra starports, but there's no tech labs on them, and they are producing, so he doesn't shouldn't suspect that battlecruisers are coming out.
Yeah, you might expect battlecruisers to be an inevitability, or at least you should, especially after that last game. But knowing, you know, the rate at which they're going to come out is actually what's more important, I think, here.
Yeah, and I think he has a pretty good read on the situation and knows that air superiority is going to be what tells the tale here in this match, because TY, immediately after scanning the additional starports there for Bunny, even without the tech labs on them, threw down 2 starports of his own and additional missile turrets. So he's getting ready to hold on, but his army composition on paper does look a little bit better. It's just the air superiority here for Bunny that's scary.
Well, I mean, he's basically zoned him out. I don't feel like Bunny's going to have any headway there. Is he going to try to land these Vikings? Oh,
it's the Liberator range.
Yeah.
Liberator range. As long as Bunny has air superiority, he can just completely shove away these siege tanks. And now suddenly this base at 3 o'clock, Bunny can get in range. That one's going to go down.
So what exactly is TY going to do here? Because this is very winning right now to just be shelling this. It looks like TY is going to try to go around, but this seems like a pretty high-risk, high-reward move.
I think it's because he's maxed. He needs to trade out some of these units to try and regain air control and repop on more Vikings. But unfortunately for him, it seems like he might not be able to get too much value out of that. Although this move did buy him time. It forced Bunny to retreat from that 3rd base. And now that planetary no longer getting shelled, and TY has some Liberators of his own. Oh, big engagement coming in. Armor shredding missile on TY's Vikings, but does he have more?
Yeah, I think that TY has a little bit of an edge here. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be able to drive him back. A great way to kind of take back the lead here. 12 o'clock, by the way, is being grown into by Bunny. He's going to fill that area in pretty nicely. This is still neck and neck. It's very hard to call either way here.
Yeah, again, I think on paper, TY to straight up fight his army, it does look better. But again, it's much going to come down to the air superiority control. And wow, look at this. Fusion core coming down by TY now.
Yeah, and so that's going to obviously be considerably later here. And so we got to watch kind of the time in between that. How exactly is TY going to play this out? But we've already got ourselves an extremely epic TVT here. Looks like Bunny wants to try to loop around to the bottom and maybe deny the 6 o'clock base there. Center of the map as well on Bunny's side of the map. if that makes any sense, is being taken there as well on both sides. So, I mean, we're running out of expansions.
Yeah, and also worth noting for TY, he is not expanding to that 6 o'clock. He's just happy to have that mineral wall exist and provide, you know, some defense to his natural expansion. He's expanding more towards the top right, more towards Bunny, which, you know, with a slower unit composition like Mech here for TY, it makes a lot of sense. Although I gotta say, I am a little bit scared of him, you know, sieging this position here. Okay, the rocks have already been destroyed. Never mind.
Well, we got shots being taken at both sides. It looks like the center expansion can't possibly exist unless, well, hold on a second. Actually, Bunny's going to go all the way around from the bottom here.
I think he keeps expecting there to be a 6 o'clock expansion, and there just isn't one.
I think so. Great usage of the Liberators really mutes these small groups of tanks out here. But the Viking count is so high here for TY, and he's able to drive this away.
It's 26 Vikings to 15 for TY. I had no idea the discrepancy was so big at this point. TY actually has very few siege tanks even on the ground, and he's mixing in Liberators of his own, not battle cruisers, so.
But Bunny's making 9 more Vikings of his own.
Oh, this is crazy. There's so many Vikings on both sides. I mean, 26? It's like Sky Terran versus Sky Terran here, and we're at the 14-minute mark.
It's wild to see. We've got ship weapons finishing here for TY. Again, 6 o'clock, still vacant.
I just have to say, by the way, that TY is looking so good considering this is his first GSL Codas back.
Yeah.
He's going toe-to-toe with a top 4 Codas finisher from last season, Buddy, one of the most accomplished Codas Terrans.
These are like the 2 best Terrans from Season 1.
Yeah, this is crazy stuff we're seeing out of TY, man. 26 to 24 Vikings now. Still in TY's favor. Upgrades. It looks like ship weapons level 2 is going to be about a minute and maybe a minute and a half ahead here for Bunny. So there is a window where he has an advantage, but I mean, this game is getting increasingly hard to call, frankly. Bunny kind of consuming the map on the left side. TY happy to split it down the middle and expand on the right side himself. This expansion now under siege.
Okay, so, I mean, 12 o'clock, I think he can live without this. He's already going to go ahead and swap this position into the bottom left. We're finally at the point where we do have to point out we're running out of map.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, my God. Big air engagement here. Who actually has more? It's 30 Vikings to 12, so actually Bunny has an incredibly larger amount more, and there's actually nothing to really stop this from getting pinned.
Yeah, that was a very poor engagement there for TY. He's just going to try and land, and now we're going to have this little dance. You could
land half your Vikings on top of that and keep the other half in the air.
The planetary, though. Vikings are saved by the planetary. Crazy game. I think the the Marines on the low ground there for Bunny really helped out. It was only like 7 or 8 of them, but all that extra damage in, helping finish off Vikings and making it so that Bunny's Vikings aren't necessarily overshotting all the Vikings there for TY really proved to be a difference maker as a bad rally.
Now there is a point where you do stop making Vikings.
Yeah, it's Thor's coming out for TY.
It's like
5 now.
Eventually he sends all his SCVs out to die so he can get even more Vikings.
And these Thors for TY are going to be a thorn in the side of Bunny because that splash damage here on Vikings, they're so prone to clumping up exactly like this when you move them across the map. And, you know, they don't have that much HP, right? They don't have that much armor either. And keep in mind that vehicle weapons, very high level here for TY as we see these Vikings just getting shelled by this Thor.
Did he just drop it right here?
I don't think so. I'm actually surprised he moved so far forward.
Well, it seems like, yeah, maybe a little bit too much. So he's going to land here and try to counter these Vikings. This is just so funny.
I got to say, these Viking dances where like they're landing and they're lifting and they're landing and they're lifting are some of the funniest and most amusing engagements that we get in StarCraft 2.
It's some of the weirdest interactions you can have, to be honest.
The Viking is really kind of a unique unit in RTS, just in general, with the way that it switches from these 2 modes and flying and landing.
Well, it seems like when Blizzard was making, you know, they were very afraid, like, this is going to be too good. You know, so it's like I have like way more of a dramatic, like, liftoff. Yeah.
These Thors getting a lot of damage done. Liberators are able to take some of them out. One Thor maneuvering out of range. I'm actually surprised that TY isn't going for the splash damage here.
There's
on
almost
those
no
Thors.
ground units in this game.
Yeah.
This is wild.
Actually want to look back at the units tab and really get an idea of what we have on the field.
So there's 37 Vikings and 10 Liberators. There's a tank and 4 Marauders on the ground.
Tank and 4 Marauders. 37 Vikings and 10 Libs is just nuts. And also, I'm getting stressed out looking at this. These 37 Vikings all at half HP. I would love for some SCVs to get pulled and repair those.
I know. And you have to imagine when the Vikings are killed off, he's going to have to figure out what his tech's going to be. Because over time, TY is accumulating the answer. I'm almost surprised that he didn't just send the Vikings somewhere else, like the main, and just try to like do damage.
When they spread out like this, I mean, it really drives home.
I know. We will blot out the sky.
It's like that scene from 300, except it's spaceships.
It's something else to watch. Now, TY does seem to have a comp that can deal with this.
Cyclone are getting upgraded here for TY as the Liberators, I mean, with their superior range, just able to shoo away these Thors. I feel like there's an ebb and flow here for TY where the Thor count gets dangerously high, but the Liberators just, you know, almost easily zone them back out. And, you know, notably, Bunny actually trying to take more bases of the map than TY here. And if this goes the distance and we play another 10 or 15 minutes and we start mining out all these bases on the flank sides of the map, then that can really prove to be a difference maker.
You know, he's not wavering from this mass Viking. Oh! He's not wavering from this mass Viking play. It's a little odd to see. I do feel like TY is completely stabilized now.
Yeah, I don't think I mean, these armies can't kill anyone. They can fight and they can trade in the middle and they can try to, you know, skirmish over sections of the map, but these are never armies that are going to push across and end the game, at least not at this point. So it feels like we're kind of gearing up for the long haul, and TY right now, he's just playing a game of whack-a-mole of his own, trying to pick off these planetary fortresses because he does not want Bunny to mine the majority of the resources on the map. And I would love to see the total resources lost overall because, again, this is one of those situations where resource cost efficiency matters a ton going in late, and actually a lot of Vikings getting cleaned up here by the Thors. The Liberators late with the siege up. Actually, a lot of them in the front line getting taken out here by TY's Thors, and that was a very cost-efficient trade there for TY, I gotta say. Viking count reset all the way down to 4-4.
Yeah, I mean, look at the supplies on both sides. It's plummeted here. So the question is, how does the rebuilding come? I can't imagine that we're going to see Bunny just go back into nothing but Vikings and Liberators, but I say that there's 9 Liberators being made.
Gonna go up to 15 Liberators is Bunny, and keep in mind that those were armies that I didn't exactly check, but I think they were maxed or at least very close to maxed.
Yeah, they were maxed, yeah.
But TY has 30 plus more workers than Bunny, so that was a very well-executed trade for him, and his Remax is also going to have a little bit more tempo here with his superior economy. SCV is getting pulled to get on top of these siege tanks.
The fact that he went right into these Vikings means he can just shut down the Liberators. This actually could swing the game.
It really could. All these Liberators get cleaned up. The best they can do is just continue to siege out and try to trade out with these Thors. And the army for TY now, I think, if I got the correct glimpse of that, yeah, it's 3 Hellions and 17 Vikings and 1 stray Widowmine on the left side of the map.
Yeah, this is a wild moment.
I'm surprised we didn't see anything exactly like this last season, considering how many TBTs we had to close out.
I feel like somebody's doing something wrong. I don't like how Bunny's kind of played this out long term. And not that the accumulation of Vikings and Liberators was a bad idea, but it seems like he kind of stayed with this weird you need to make something happen. Sometimes you need to max out, make something happen, then switch into another type of max out. And it seems like he kind of just stayed. It allowed TY to get to where he needed to be. And then TY's responded pretty well from there on out.
It's just tough when you have, you know, mirrored mech compositions with planetary fortresses and sensor towers out on the field to really make those plays. And I kind of like the game plan there for Bunny, which was, you know, control the skies, be more cost efficient with Liberator trades, which up until very recently, they were more cost efficient just by the looks of things.
Right.
And then just consume more resources on the map because then you win in the end game. But yeah, TY just with a superior economy and some very nice exchanges, able to really eclipse Bunny in supply right now, almost max to the 144 supply of Bunny. And you know, Bunny at only 58 SCVs, a lot of those also on gas because this is a very gas-intensive army composition that he's running. Struggling for resources right now, and look at the bases on the map. I mean, TY is just in control.
Well, TY has gotten to where he needs to be, and he's going to start advancing over here. And I think we're going to start to see the position get compacted here for Bunny.
Oh, these are orbitals. These are not planetaries either. So Blue Flame Hellions, I mean, we keep harping on Bunny having this low SCV count. If TY catches wind of this and comes through.
Well, here you go. And, you know, this is one of the funny things is normally Hellions get no value, but they cost just minerals, and you always have a surplus of minerals, so it's like you might as well use them. Well, right now they're getting real insane value in a almost 25-minute game, because they're just finding all the workers, and there was already less workers over there. So I think that TY is about to close this out.
It starts to feel that way. No planetaries here in the middle either, as more SCVs continue to follow this engagement. Going about 50-50 in the air, maybe slightly favoring Bunny here, I would say, but keep in mind that those Hellbats are doing so much work. Even SCVs getting pulled, did they kill the command center?
This is crazy. And, you know, I think there's definitely enough oxygen in this game for TY to just pull right back and remake whatever he needs to do. He's even going to right-click on the minerals over there.
Insult to injury, it feels like here.
Yeah.
As Bunny now down to 27 workers, and although he does have the army supply advantage, again, this isn't a composition that you can really push with. It's Vikings, there's 1 siege tank, 7 Marauders, and 4 Marines here for Bunny. And I mean, even with landed Vikings, as Bunny has, you're not going to easily break through planetary fortresses or siege tanks, for that matter, as TY's been adding them in. I mean, the Liberators, they will be able to shoo them away, but these are not cost-efficient trades. Bunny up against the ropes, trying to make something happen.
I think he's just trying to make something happen, but it's not going to work. I mean, you can't advance at this moment if you're down this much. There's 69 workers still in this game for TY, and we see a push coming here from Bunny that's really not getting anything done.
No, not too much. I mean, he's trying his hardest, and he's just not really able to make any big plays happen. TY did lose some workers behind all of us, but it's still 70-33. He has the full bottom left corner. He's continuously threatening this base here at the top right for Bunny as well. And although this game might go on a while longer because a killing blow is still quite far away here for TY, it seems. I mean, his situation is so much better. I just look at the mineral counts right now.
Yeah, I mean, Bunny did mismanage this. It's subtle, but yeah, he didn't quite have the right worker balance. And then when TY came in there and basically punished that, you just look at the production tabs. I mean, TY's able to produce so much more. TY's going to get maxed out very quickly here. He might even be able to attack before that and basically squish the remaining bases that Bunny has.
10 Cyclones in total on the field here for TY. 15 Hellions again. Not sure if he's just going to use those as kind of battle mech here with the Cyclones. And yeah, it seems like he is. Hellbats phasing in.
He could just use the Hellbats as his cannon fodder. And, you know.
These Cyclones doing work.
Oh my God, these Vikings going down. GG. TY takes game 1. Okay. Wow. Nicely done. TY, wouldn't be surprised if we see him go mech again here in game 2. This does seem to be what he kind of wants to lean on.
And that was an awesome game. 27-minute epic TVT.
I like it.
TY in his first Codes map win in so many years. And he does it against one of the best Terran players in the business. The guy that took a series off of Maru, I think, in the previous GSL Codes. Yeah. Got top 4. In Africa TVT, and
very embarrassed Bunny, by the way. You could see that on his face, frustrated. It was kind of a weird game. I mean, definitely sat on the Vikings for too long. He had the counter tech in there, but he didn't take it to the next level. And we're gonna go to map 2.
Gonna be ESL Grezvin for map number 2. TY up 1-0 here in the elimination match. Bunny 1 map away from being the first player knocked out of Codes in Season 2.
All right, guys, we're going to get ready and go into this game. TY versus Bunny continues on. Can Bunny recover, GSL or is he going to get knocked out of the GSL?
Kwangdong Freaks, TY. Mystery Gaming, Bunny.
I'm surprised we did the player intros with this one, Tasteless. Bunny with a 13 depot, 2 SCVs already out on the map. Well, right next to TY's base.
TY went CC first last game.
Yeah, that's true.
It's easy to forget.
He's not going to do it again, though, right? That's something you can throw in once in a best of 3.
Say that to Bunny before this match. He'd be like, ah, maybe, and sends his SCVs across the map. From Switzerland, welcome. I get it, though. I get why he would do this.
No, it makes sense, especially after such a long and epic TBT. This is something that can just really kind of sweep the rug out from under your opponent.
Absolutely, yeah.
And all these guys are
hold
so good at. Whoa! TY is so smart. Yeah, that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
That's as early as that SCV scout is going to go. So TY knows exactly what he's up against. We'll see what the response from him is going to be. So his factory is going to be thrown down. Reaper in production. All right.
So, truly it is so much better to not have this spotted. You know, knowing it's coming, it's a lot, right? So, how does TY want to play this? He knows if he shuts down the Reapers, it's a great inconvenience to have 2 Raxes in the middle of the map. He wants to come up here and intercept. There is kind of a roll of the dice where you're like, well, maybe I'll send my first Reapers up the place you wouldn't expect, like the natural, instead of that kind of free little terrace you could take your way up. But he's not going to do that.
Coming up the main. Nice
grenade. Look at the SCV.
Yeah, SCVs are going to fall here, at least one.
Now the trick is, from the attacking side, is to not drop a Reaper. If you keep every Reaper alive, the momentum's there.
Oh, it's a proxy starport here for TY. All right, 3 more Reapers coming in. Just 1 Marine, 1 Reaper here for TY. That Hellion seconds away from popping. First Marine does go down. Hellion should allow him to control the situation, though.
TY is barely hanging on with what he's got. The control from Bunny is really top tier. Hold up.
Ooh.
He gets that snipe, but it's a trade.
It's a second one. Second Reaper goes down.
Oh, I think he's not going to get the other one either. Wow.
I think TY from this point on, he's stabilized, and that's a Liberator getting built across the map. Now, Bunny, he is building a factory back at home, not...
he
blocks it.
Riggedy wreck.
He blocked it.
Whoa.
Bunny wants to throw down a tech lab. He wants to get a Cyclone out.
That was sick.
That was so many extra seconds. That was 5 or 10 seconds bought that Cyclone is going to be delayed. Bunny, when he sees that SCV, he knows that there is something proxied on his side of the map. He scouts the proxy starport here in the natural expansion, and the Reapers are going to start doing work on it. But
Mike, I know what you're thinking. You didn't know Reapers could do damage to buildings, but they can.
There's no anti-air, though. Not until that Cyclone is out, and it just now started. Oh, TY's going to get some damage done with this for sure. At the very least, a lot of mining time should be lost.
Yeah, this is super annoying.
That 2 SCVs fall.
The Hellions are hunting the Reapers now.
Goodness. TY is playing this so well right now.
What is happening? Oh, sorry, that's the barracks in the far bottom right is being killed off. I saw some blinking down there.
Yeah, Bunny's trying to scout.
Oh my God, he almost went into the Liberator zone.
A Cyclone in the corner of the map now, or Cyclone Liberator, excuse me.
It's landed on that rock.
Yeah, so much damage done though, truly. I mean, all that mining time lost, command center now going down for TY, and we might eventually reach a point where things normalize a little bit, but there's no denying that TY absolutely has the advantage after all these trades. I mean, Bunny losing so much mining time, this barracks getting, you know, sacrificed here in the main base of TY. At least he will get scouting done with this. And the question now that I have is, how is TY going to choose to follow this one up? Because if he wanted to, I feel like he does have the opportunity to try and go for maybe some kind of killing blow or a big contain with the tempo advantage that he's gained in these early moments.
All right, so he is, I mean, TY is in very good shape. I do think this is not, it's not impossible here for Buddy, but TY has played a great game so far, especially that Cyclone interrupting that. For the time being, things are developing pretty nicely over here for TY on his side of the map. There is an attack inbound going through the middle. Actually, it's almost over here towards the natural. There's a Widow Mine and a tank. He might be able to actually fish, fish that into the Widow Mine.
Widow Mine connects. Ooh, got into siege tank range there for a moment. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, I don't think Bunny can get anything done with this.
No,
it's exactly the wrong units to try to deal with this.
Yeah, so he's just going to try and greet it out, but at least he got a little bit of scouting information with that. He knows, he had follow-up scouting on the unit composition after the barracks, scouted exactly what the building setup is here for TY, and Bunny, after that poke, decides that his best way of getting back into a place of contention here on match point is to go for a really fast third command center, throw down 2 more barracks.
Okay, so TY flirting with the idea of maybe coming out on the map. Bunny with these 3 Reapers going to try to wrap around the bottom. Again, the Reapers don't really have any utility. The further along you get in the game, so you might use them to try to spot for expansions or scout or maybe suicide into their base and kill workers.
I'm actually surprised they didn't send the Reapers into the main just to try and pick off a couple of SCVs, but perhaps showing some respect here for TY and figuring a play like that will not work.
If you look at the army supply, TY is 20 supply ahead. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big deal on 2 bases. So, a lot of TVTs, you can have these kind of wild back and forths, and then somebody just comes across the map and kills the other one.
It feels like we might be heading that way. Keep in mind that a lot of the army units that Bunny has been producing this whole time are not the best in a straight-up fight, such as those 2 Cyclones, for instance, and he's greeting quite heavily back at home. Double engineering bay, 3rd command center also done. And only just now is his infrastructure really starting to kick in. You've been adding 2 more barracks to bring that total up to 5. There certainly does feel like there's going to be a window for TY to get some damage done. The question is, will he be able to find it?
So, is the main open? And if it is open, can he get in there and really do some damage? He's got a Cyclone ready, but he might be able to lead with the Vikings, and he might be able to even bait out the Cyclone targeting. He does. Does that allow him? No, it does not prompt him to try to come to the main. I thought that might be the idea there, but I guess, yeah, you're seeing kind of the river of units come out of the main there. It's like, would you ever want to fully move into that base like that?
Especially with 2 Cyclones. There's no getting out of that.
Yeah. So good call there by TY. But TY continues to keep momentum on his side here. He is expanding a little bit quicker. Will he try to come in here for a jab instead?
I think he's hoping that the SCV transfer is quite early here and he can catch some, but instead a little bit delayed. So these SCVs, or Marines, excuse me, just going to retreat back here into this corner, dead airspace. Now I'd love to get a look at the unit count. Oh, thank you, Observer. Look at that. 5 siege tanks to 4 here in TY's favor, 26 Marines to 19. So that's where a lot of the army supply difference is coming from. Both players kind of neglecting the skies for now. And oh, this is a nice angle that TY has found. He's going to try and get this siege tank here in the natural expansion. He is able to pick it off, but with this Raven with 2 disables, there's nothing really to protect these siege tanks here for TY. And actually,
yeah, this is a pretty bare.
Oh, he's just going to get dropped on.
Well, hold on a second. He's going to drop. Now, is there actually enough? I think TY can narrowly win this. This is such an interesting interaction here. It's so funny. It looked like TY should never be able to hold that spot. He's kind of just barely making it work. He's going to shimmy some more Marines up here over to this spot, but a tank over here from Bunny is going to deny that. He can start to shell the gas, though. This actually adds up quite a bit over time.
He should be able to shell the gas, but not having the Marines there to guard the tanks really felt like a little bit of a misstep for TY as it weakened the position so much. I felt like there was a lot of potential with that siege up there between the natural and the 3rd expansion, but at least for TY, this push a little bit weaker now. And oh, Bunny coming in is going to be able to snipe these siege tanks. Might even get a medevac.
Nice snipe on the medevac there. Kind of a funny spot TY's fighting from. He's going to grow furthermore up into the top right. Production looking very good for him. But the army supplies have evened out. In fact, it's Bunny with even a little bit more of a lead here. So TY is was not able to kind of continue to stay on top of Bunny. And Bunny feels comfortable now breaking free from this position, moving to the south. It's not going to be at an angle where he's going to be able to stop a fresh base, though. Whoa!
Nice Widowmine connection there on that medevac. A little damage being done, and it does feel like TY has run out of a little bit of steam with these kind of fumbled engagements pushing outside the natural expansion of Bunny, and that has led things to equalize. And Keep in mind that Bunny, behind all of this, he was greeting quite hard, right? He went for that very fast third command center. He went double engineering base, so he should have an upgrade advantage. And I was going to say an eco advantage, but man, TY, even in a series against Maru, just does not stop building SCVs in these series. He's back up to 74 here against a 60 of Bunny. And keep in mind, Bunny, if I'm not mistaken, had that faster third command center by quite a bit.
Now Bunny down here in the bottom. This could be a very squishy position here. TY is going to have to try to defend it. This is a lot from Bunny. Can he get the tank siege up? Seems like the siege was a little bit delayed.
Yeah, those siege tanks are going to be in range not only of gas, but I think of that corner mineral. Yeah. That's a difficult position there for TY to try and break, especially without a Raven.
He is going to try to shell it from above. It looks like that tank, in fact, is not quite in range. Does clip the Marines for a second.
And just needs vision to go in and clip him again. And Bunny's going to back off here, but not too much damage really being found on either side with these pushes. But I got to say, you know, TY, as he's expanding up here to the top right, as this drop comes in, probably will avoid the planetary. I thought for a moment he might try to die the natural expansion, but instead thinks better of it, does Bunny. Oh, he might get caught. He has no boost.
Oh, that was
Goodbye. Nice catch there by TY, but even without that catch, I mean, he's expanding so quickly. These 77 workers, just look at the minimap. The saturation on that fourth base is huge for TY. His economic advantage over Bunny is continuing to grow. And should he be able to skirt disaster from this drop in the main base?
Well, I mean, 4 is going to be enough to get in here. The question is, can TY drop the drop itself? It looks like the turret line was actually not one where it could actually hit anything from that distance. And this is going to be a pretty hairy spot right now for TY.
The Vikings are able to pick off one medevac, but it seems like TY is going to have to take a cost-inefficient trade to just break this position here. Liberator sieging on the siege tanks. We'll be able to slowly take them out. That's going to prompt the stim in. Meanwhile, Bunny's going to use this as an opportunity to push the fourth base here, but TY gets a good engagement. Most of the Marines just get completely evaporated.
Yeah, there was just enough Marines left over to kind of kill off those tanks, and I don't know that he can really break this spot. But a drop comes in here, which will force the tanks to unsiege. 2 more tanks go down as TY is going to try to wrap back around to the side here and recover this.
Man, I really thought Bunny might have a big window with how much force TY committed to try to deflect that attack in the main base, but TY just completely on top of it. Saw that move coming, intercepted it perfectly there. And now with a 20 supply lead, I'm liking TY's position. These past few trades have gone so well for him. Now another drop hitting the natural expansion will have to go away. Only 2 Marines in that medevac as TY continues to saturate and take another base.
Another drop comes in here towards the main. This isn't really doing anything. It just seems like what happened was Bunny might have been able to take this game and make this work, but he just sort of overextended. And as the dust settles, TY actually has more in basically every metric possible.
Yeah, even the upgrades have equalized now, and Bunny, I think he didn't even start 3-3 infantry weapons. TY is the only player researching them right now, so there's a big commitment here from Bunny to try and get something done. Perhaps feeling the pressure here. This is match point. If he loses this map, he is out of the GSL Code S for Season 2. And TY right now just building in momentum, especially with these Liberators continuing to push and shove his way through the middle of the map.
Now, he's going to try to come down once more. Finally, that fourth base for Bunny is being taken here. Better late than never, but there's a huge drop in the main. And this main looks like it's basically naked. Like, there's just nothing going on to defend this. And with this much infantry, he might be able to just kill all the infrastructure.
Yeah, at least some critical infrastructure like the starport will go down. And even these reinforcements coming in for Bunny don't seem like enough. Yeah, these gas guys are also going to get taken out. One of them was depleted. Supply depot's also going down. This is a ton of damage coming out of TY, and also keep in mind, there isn't a lot to really threaten these Marines. Should TY just want to get up and go, he can.
Yeah, he just picks up and runs right back out to fight another day. And no threats generated for Bunny on TY's side of the map. In fact, boost!
Yeah, Bunny going for a nice catch there, just wasn't able to make it happen as TY moves across the middle of the map. A massive push, and Bunny, he's just now taking his 5th base. TY saturated his 5th base once that command center in the bottom left got started construction, so just constantly 1 base ahead in tempo is TY as he comes back again into the main base.
Yeah, I mean, with this push over here in the middle, this may draw the noose too tight. I don't know that Bunny's going to be able to actually live through the rest of this. He's going to come forward, he's going to siege up. Immediately, TY sieges up to meet him and create that no man's land once again.
With infantry weapons level 3 now completing here for TY, there's going to be a large window where he's able to use this upgrade advantage to trade favorably with Bunny's infantry. Should he identify it? A couple of siege tanks here, actually 3 in fact. Still going to step up and try and take them out to go down. Trading Marines for siege tanks here is TY as the counts fall 8-8. Behind that also, Bunny was able to clean up those unprotected siege tanks there on the bottom left side. I think maybe 5 of them in total getting taken out there. So the army supply is suddenly swinging in Bunny's favor. If he wants to make a play, this might be his chance to come back in this game.
Yeah, is this going to be a reversal? It does seem like he's going to be able to get into this base over here. Not a whole lot to defend. This is going to make getting into the main even more easier, excuse me. But Bunny is now moving down to the bottom. So this is getting very interesting. We're getting into a base trade-ish position.
Yeah, but look at how many sensor towers are on the map right now for TY. They are spread across everywhere. So he has a very good idea that Bunny is trying to make this play. And it's going to be a doom drop heading into the main base. There isn't that much to prepare for this. TY is stimming in. Liberators are coming back. Only one siege tank siege right now as Bunny begins to fortify this position, and now it's TY's infrastructure that is under threat.
Yeah, I mean, this is a lot of damage over here for TY. Funnily enough, clearing up most of this infrastructure might actually finally allow TY to come back in and fight this. But this is a major blow. And now another attack over here on the third base. I think the CC might be killed.
CC taking a ton of damage, should be able to escape, but 13 SCVs do fall. Army supply slowly starting to equalize right now as Bunny's really been able to work his way back into this game in the past couple of minutes with some excellent maneuvering.
Now, we should note that the income here is still better for TY.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's still able, but he doesn't have a lot of those buildings. He's going to have to remake that very quickly. And that third base for Bunny was denied, where, you know, look, a lot of infrastructure was killed here in the main for TY, but the other big story is going to be, you know, what happens if TY can then swing back again.
Yeah, Bunny going to try and focus now on the triangle third base here for TY, but the reinforcements are just fast enough.
TVT is a crazy matchup when you got good players playing it, man.
Oh, yeah.
I never get tired of it. It is so crazy.
It's the most positional matchup we have in StarCraft 2 by far.
For sure.
For positional masterminds like TY and Bunny, it's such a thrill to watch them go toe-to-toe like this. I mean, the momentum of this game, you can feel it swinging in TY's favor and then back into Bunny's favor. And now once again in TY's favor as they're going blow for blow right now. The triangle third once again will get lifted. Wouldn't be surprised to see TY just try and vacate that position for a moment and try to create a threat elsewhere on the map. This main base, looking at the mini-map here for Bunny, there might not be much, even Parade pushing across the map. It's just this one siege tank.
I mean, what is actually here to defend? Keep in mind that there's not a lot to work with here for Bunny. It looks like he's got one tank. Oh, a bit of a misclick there.
Yeah.
I think he clicked on the command center.
And TY is just creating problems, and looking at the way his army is maneuvering on the map, I'm wondering whether he's either going to go for the triangle third of Bunny or try to set up a flank here on Bunny's army. And yeah, it does seem like it will be that triangle third, so he's been doing a great job of creating all these threats, and he has a very good idea that TY is heavily fortified here. Oh, no!
No!
Oh, a bad misclick there by TY. A lot of siege tanks getting taken down, but at least he will be able to take this command center out on the other side of the map.
You know, I was about to say the way the supplies have fluctuated in this game has been wild. But I was going to say that TY is probably going to take this. So when he lost those tanks, that might have lost him the game. We'll see.
Luckily for TY, he does have this Liberator advantage, so Bunny not able to siege down the command center here.
It is still Bunny that's working with less economically.
Yeah, this is a crazy game. Worker count for the first time in a very long time in Bunny's favor, by the way. Although he is still down on bases in the saturation, not exactly what he wants it to be because of that. Army supplies favoring TY, most of that's in Marines. TY almost doubling the Marine count of Bunny, so Bunny cannot be caught unsieged.
All right, a stim comes in.
Oh, it's going to force the
unsiege tanks. The Marines come in to save the day.
Yeah, those tanks sieged on the back line really providing the backbone Bunny needs. Otherwise, that could have been a disastrous situation as TY just continuing to balloon this Marine count. 80 Marines for TY to the 43 for Bunny, although Bunny also almost doubling TY in the siege tank count department. So both these players are going to have to play to the individual strengths of their armies. And Bunny, to his credit, at least to this point, he's doing a good job of it, maneuvering around, but doom drops like this are going to be so hard to deal with a siege tank-based army.
And this is a really clean drop on top of everything. Nothing that's going to spawn from these buildings is going to help. He'll have to bring everything back and try to push back up through here. It's going to be in a very bottleneck position. Siege tanks are going to be everything in a moment like this.
Yeah, TY doing a great job of controlling this ramp as the siege tanks eventually are able to push away. A lot more infrastructure getting taken out.
He's supply blocked right now. Look at that.
Right, all these depots.
Yeah.
And he's mineral starved,
too. Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, hold on. There's Marines that could be... Ooh, yeah, good call. Good call.
Yeah.
You got to really know how to pick your fights. If there's stuff there, there's got to be a weakness somewhere else on the map.
Yeah, Bunny is playing on a razor's edge right now. It feels like TY has almost every advantage. The more mobile army, more bases. Although the work count is not in his favor, the superior economy because of the better saturation. As we get a quick look at the units lost tab. Almost dead even. Only 1,000 or 2,000 resources differentiating these players with tons of resources lost overall. And okay, Bunny gonna try and come in for this round. This might be his moment. A nice round. A lot of Marines of TY getting cleaned up here. It's almost a full 360.
Does Bunny have enough? He might be able to close this out, but more Marines push through. The tanks are a little bit exposed here. Can he get the Liberators over there on top of those tanks?
Oh, it's a crazy play.
This is such a good TVT, by the way. This
love
is
Bunny.
Insane.
I love Bunny lifting up those siege tanks to evade the 3 Liberators that are sieged right on top of him, but that will provide an avenue for TY to maneuver over here and take out another base under construction from Bunny, and that has been the real weakness for Bunny's economy this entire game has been his low base count, but TY just keeps shutting it down time and time again. So Bunny gonna try to go again with a counterattack. What is here to defend for TY?
Not a lot. I see a couple tanks here in the main, an unfortunate position to drop this in.
But there's almost no Marines here with this. It's almost pure siege tank, and a lot of them are very badly bruised.
Tanks are gonna get some Marines, but you get just, oh my God, he's cleaning up the bottom.
Base.
Okay, hold on. The main, I think, is sackable if TY can take out the bottom left.
I don't even think he needs to sacrifice it. Yeah, with the Marines popping out of the barracks, I mean, it's basically a drop right on top, and there's nothing to guard them.
You need like at least 6 or more Marines around those tanks. Just a little bit more stim to kind of kill stuff off.
All right, Bunny coming in once again, going to try and flank this very small force here for TY that's going to target, that was attempting to take out the last mining base for Bunny, and that's just going to be it. TY wins 2-0 in the elimination match.
That was
Bunny
such a game.
Bunny from top 4 in the last GSL Code S, the first player eliminated here in Season 2 as TY. It is second match of GSL Code S in how many years?
I'm so hyped right now. Like on the break, I'm just going to be using battle ropes the whole time. I'm just going to be doing pull-ups. I'm just so hyped for how well TY played there. We got a great match coming up too. That means it's going to be TY versus Classic, and that also means Bunny's out of Season 2, the first guy to fall.
Yeah, but GSL Code S is delivering right from the gates. These have been some incredible PVTs, incredible TVTs, about the best games you could possibly ask for.
Short break, guys. Coming up next, the final best of 3. Don't go away.